Hello everyone, welcome to Moe Talk. We talk football and Chelsea are through to the semi-final. It's happening like a dream and I'm loving the haters. It's so interesting to watch the haters. They keep hoping that we fail, but we don't. And they keep saying, how is Chelsea scamming their way through to the final? Anyway, all that aside, we're through to the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. Yes, different environment, yeah. So, it was pretty much as I anticipated. I didn't think it would be a high goal scoring game. I just felt it would be a tidy game. And here are my thoughts. A review of the game of Palmeiras versus Chelsea. The game kicks off, and surprisingly, okay, well, not really surprisingly because Caicedo was suspended for the game. Santos makes his first start for Chelsea, and I must say, Santos is a decent player. He's actually a very, very decent player. He held his own. And I thought that Enzo would do a lot of work in terms of trying to help him, but he held his own. Fair play, Santos. Fair play. And we have Pedro Neto, of course, on the he started on the right hand side, excuse me, as I was about to yawn because it's late here, yeah. And Nkunku, surprise, surprise, starts on the left, and Liam Delap, of course, starts in attack. We have Enzo, who is in the midfield. We have Chalobah, who makes the start, and no Okotosin, as I thought there would be in this game. And we had Levi Colwell, Cucurella, and Malo Gusto. Apparently, it came out not too long before the kickoff that Reece James had a knock, or he had an upset in the game, or sorry, during training or so. And we don't know how serious it is. Is it serious? Is it just a knock, like, okay, he just couldn't shake it off for the game? But surprisingly, no Reece James. And it had me worried because Malo Gusto, that we have known recently, has not been the best. No, he has not been. In fact, he has been one of the major leaks defensively that we've had for some time now. And who else? Who else? Who else have I not touched on? Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And we have, I think, yeah, that's it. So the game starts, and we're looking okay, but Palmeiras had the front foot. And I was like, okay, like we would say from where I come from, we say initial gra gra. So they just started their own, and we were just watching. And I just wanted to see what will happen in the next, say, between 6 to 7, maybe 10 minutes, because usually that's when you say the game has really advanced. So before even that, I could already see the tide change. Chelsea almost within, I think within 5 minutes, the Chelsea just had a grip on the game, and before we knew what was going on, Chelsea were all over the place. They were passing, and Palmeiras just seemed to be like the type that would wait to take the ball and hit us on the counter. I was a bit wary about that, but fair play to the defense. Like I said, once again, as Andre Santos, he did well. He held his own pretty well, and the defense too. And I must also give this person also a shout out, even though, yes, the defense plays a big role, because I've been giving him a lot of stick. That's Sanchez. Sanchez had a very, very decent game. In fact, even the goal that was scored against him, it was a banger of a goal, and it'd be hard for him to. I mean, he hit the crossbar just before it went in, and I don't really blame him for that. But I'll get back to that. So the game continues, and you could see that we were in control. In fact, at some point, I just kept on watching, and I was like, "Yeah, do I even really need to watch this game because of the time?" And it was just going only one way traffic, but yet again, we've seen something like that happen against Benfica, and we saw how it ended up. So, before we know what was going on, I think it was Chaloba. I was having problem finding out who it was that made that pass to Cole Palmer. Either Chaloba or Santopa. I think it was Chaloba. He makes a pass to what's his name, Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer does what Cole Palmer does. It's cold. And Cole Palmer plays it in. No, he drifts away from his defender, and his man keeps trying to keep up with him, and his man was acting like a blocker to the goalkeeper in some sort of way, and Cole Palmer just kept that 1 foot ahead of him, and with a beautiful placement right in to the corner, and it was a fast stretch for the goalkeeper, and we went 1 goal up. Chelsea lead 1-0, and it was pretty much straightforward from then on. However, I will say for me, because I kept on watching a certain player, Liam Delap. Liam Delap, for me, I am not yet convinced. Remember, I said I like his movement. It felt a little bit different from Nicholas Jackson, but I may have to confess here, because maybe there is a little bias towards Jackson that I have personally right now. But fair play to Jackson. Jackson, besides his goal finishing and his temperament, he's actually a decent player. He's okay. But Liam Delap, I'm not yet convinced with this fella. I want to see more. So far in this Club World Cup, I have seen more fights than football. Because yes, some of us would say, but that's how what's his name, Diego Costa was. But at least Diego Costa will be in the faces of his defenders and still puts up a clinic in football. So you cannot compare the two. But for me, and it's not, in fact, this particular game is even worse, because for me, basically, what Liam Delap was just basically doing, yes, I get it, he was being marked, and maybe the plan was to mark him out of the game, but he just kept on blocking against his defender, and just kept on doing that all game. So I don't know. And he well, let me just skip that part. We go to the second half, and in the second half, the first half ends 1-0, and in the second half, we continue with the game. And everything just looks pretty decent to me. However, like I said, Liam Delap, not really in the game, being marked out, putting up more fights than football. And Nkunku, at some point, I started to see him fade in the game, which is where I will also give fair play to Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca's substitutions today were spot on. No experimentation. They were spot on, and they worked well. So the game continues, and Liam Delap does what I think is completely idiotic, because there was really no need for it. I think there was an elbow just before the ball gets to him, and he tries to remind us of a certain moonwalker. So I am not so impressed with Liam Delap, and apparently that got him another yellow card, which I just found out recently, that once you get 2 yellow cards in 5 games in this tournament, you get suspended, which for me is ridiculous. So Liam Delap has gotten himself suspended for the semi-final, and I'll get to that later in terms of alternatives. So we continue, and Enzo Maresca takes out Liam Delap.
and takes out Nkunku. Very well played. Very well played. And he brings in what's his name? João Pedro, and he brings in Noni Madueke. So the game continues, and at some point I just started to feel uncomfortable in the game. Literally, I am not joking. I am dead serious. Literally, the moment the words slipped out of my mouth, in less than a minute, I said, I am not feeling comfortable. There is something off about our game, because you could see it in our ball retention. Our passes were not really clicking. That's in the second half. Our passes were not really clicking. The ball retentions were poor. And before we know what was going on, I just said it. I am not feeling good. There's something off about this game. And literally before a minute, Esteval scores. Brilliant goal, by the way, I must say. Caught Cucurella sleeping, and he takes a shot, he hits the crossbar and bounces into the net. I must say, this kid, at least this is against Premier League opposition. I think this kid will be able to handle the Premier League. I think, at this point, I'm not certain, but I think he's quick and he's got good shot power, because that really impressed me. For a guy that little, that size, with that amount of shot power, did you see the shot on that thing? It went, hit the crossbar, bounced in, bounced up into the net, and I was like, what? And yeah, he was celebrating, but hey, allow the kid. That's his actual club where he started from. But yes, he's a Chelsea player. So I'm looking at the game and I'm like, what's gone wrong right now? Is it, I don't know, maybe they got a little bit complacent, but as the game advanced, we started picking up the pace, and I could see it again. I was like, okay, Chelsea's going back into this game. Yes, it was a brief moment of lack of concentration, as you may call it, but they came back into the game. So all I can just say, it was a decent performance. And another person I have to give kudos to is Gusto. Malo Gusto, for me, did well in this game. I actually thought that there would be serious blunders from him, but there weren't. And fair play to him. Fair play to him. I'm really impressed with what he's done. And just when the pressure was piling up, because you could see it, especially from Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke did well. There were some chances that I felt that he would have done better, because he just kept on going further in, almost to the goal line, and he just kept on going further in. And I'm like, dude, pass the ball in. Don't just go too close to the edge of the box and the goal line and just decide to just cross the ball. But fair play to him, because there were some that were actually deflected. He had the ball, nice idea, but they were just deflected. And Noni kept on poking and poking. And now to the major talk that I just wanted to just let out. I like João Pedro. I like him. Yes, he may not score, but you could see the Brazilian in him. A few flicks here, a few flicks there. It was just lovely to see. I may be sounding like the way I sounded when I first watched Liam Delap, but I like his ball, his movement on and off the ball. There was this flick that he made for Cucurella, and Cucurella blasts it way wide, but it was a nice game. He just kept on doing that, and there was even one when he did what I expected Noni Madueke to do. Steals the ball bounces up, he brings it down, and sorry, he doesn't bring it down. Just as the ball comes down, he just takes a shot. Yes, it was direct, but I'm like, yes, something like this. This is what an attacker should be, that instinct to attack. So, I like him. But I still, once again, need to see more, especially against Premier League opposition. So, we kept on probing, and Malo Gusto takes a shot, and I'm like, okay, I literally did this. I'm not joking. No word of a lie. I literally did this. And I opened my hand. The ball was in the net. And the ball was in the net. I was surprised. I was like, how? So I watched the replay and I saw the defensive howler. I want to be fair to the Palmeiras goalkeeper because he had already committed. He had gone to ground. I think the ball took a deflection, but the more I watch the replay, I don't see a deflection. So I'm like, how? How did you let that happen? And the ball bounces off of him and goes into the net. And I'm like, how? And then we go 2-1 up. Pressure averted because I was already worried that maybe we might be going into extra time or something crazy like that Benfica game. But we go up 2-1 up and Chelsea holds their own. And then Levi Colwill does something very, very ridiculous. Levi Colwill picks up another yellow card and will miss the semi-final. This is for me. It's for me are the last 2 points that I want to say just before I wrap up this video. There is a temperamental issue and it comes with young players. It's sad because after that interview that you heard from Levi Colwill, which was pretty decent, but to see him pick up an unnecessary yellow card in that manner is just immature, unnecessary, and just pure foolery, if I may. Because you have your teammates and other players picking up yellow cards for challenges and stuff. Yes, the referee blows. You may not be in agreement with the referee's decisions, but you already know the rules. And this referee had already previously cornered Levi Colwill and spoken to him. And now you get to miss the next game. And for me, it just shows that this Chelsea team, there is a serious temperamental issue. Because if you look at it, we've brought Liam Delap, temperamental issue. We've brought even João Pedro, temperamental issue. Nicholas Jackson, you don't need me to tell you anything. And I feel Enzo Maresca really needs to talk to these players about these things. You cannot just let blow off steam anytime you want on the pitch. Certain things it comes with maturity, I know, but you just need to control yourself. And as for the attack, this is the second part that I wanted to touch on. I'm not fully convinced with our attack. I'm saying I like João Pedro, but I need to see more. I'm saying I like the movement of Liam Delap, but I seriously need to see more because right now he's giving me Moonwalker vibes. And in fact, to a large extent, I think Nicholas Jackson's hold-up play and play generally, besides the finishing part and his temperamental issues, may actually be better. Yeah. So that's just my take from this game, and we are in the semi-final. We're scamming our way into the final. Fluminense beat Al Ali. And Al Hilal, I beg your pardon. Fluminense beat Al Hilal, and we will face Fluminense, another Brazilian side. So we're really getting the Brazilian test just before we make it to the final. I'm ahead of myself. I know. One game at a time. So I look forward to the semi-finals. And guys, you let me know what you think about this game. Leave what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it will help this baby channel very, very much, please. And I appreciate you guys. Yeah, before I go, I just learned that apparently we breached the FFP and we've been charged, I think, 25 million. So yes, we need to go further in this competition to make up for that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in another one. It's late and it's time for me to go to bed and continue my sleep that I was deprived of because of this game. So I'll see you guys in another one. Take care. God bless.